Welcome to part 3 of how to build your e-help with a kit from Meij-tech in Sweden. So what we are looking into in this video is how to mount the e-help on your harness of choice. And we have, I will say, two typical ways of harness. Either is it a center line or hook point, or the old style with two different hang points from each hip up to the carbine hook. So the mounting plate is possible to mount either like it is now or in the opposite way, depending on what kind of harness you have. It's 10-inch wide, and on this harness have I mounted in the tube structure that are inside the harness. But if you have the more old style, I would say, with a big aluminium plate over your back, it's easy to just drill 4 holes in the aluminium plate and still the plate is strong enough. But you don't want to drill into the tubes, and I will show you more about how it's inside in this harness design. So here we have the inside tubes, and here you can see I use 4 clamps, and I show you 2 different styles of clamps that we have used in Sweden. You see I use them to just wrap around the tubes in the right size, and by using 4 of them I get a stiff and rigid mount without making any holes in the tubing. This model have been used to, and it works great, both of them, depending on what kind of harness you have. But you want it stable, of course, so it's stiff. And the bolts, you see I have the heads on the outside and the nuts on the inside. And the reason for that is that I want this plate and the battery box to be as close to each other as possible, but it's important that the bolts heads are not interfering with the battery compartment part there. But you see you can turn it either way, and that's the reason why it's not any hole in the battery box. You have to make them by yourself, and you see it should be like this. You have the 10mm aluminium tube going through both part, and that gives you the hanger functionality in an easy way. Here you can see how I've used fire blanket material to wrap around the hang straps to protect it from eventual fire or something crazy with the batteries. This is just wrapped around and secured in location there. So that's a good way to improve the safety. Here you can see the mouth gas throttle control cable that I also secure with a little bit of wrap on the front line on the harness here. And you could of course replace this line with something that takes double your weight, body weight or something like that, to make the harness even safer if something happened. The line that goes back to the tailbone, it's important to adjust that so the tailbone is really horizontal when you're flying. And the same thing with the harness. It's important to close it and also to adjust it so it is horizontal, because otherwise you will have a lot of turbulent air coming through the prop, and the prop is spinning in the air without really getting the grips. So make sure that you're in a good position and the tail boom is the motor boom is in a good position too, to give you clean air to the propeller. Otherwise, it's easy to slide out the aluminum tube, the 10 millimeters that connects the harness plate and the battery box plate. And I have, like I showed you before, glued a bolt in each side of the 10 millimeter tube. And here you can see from the boat shop have I bought like a key ring that are stainless steel and keeps the tube in place, and it's easy to take off and on out in the field without dropping the small ring in the grass and being a little bit delayed. And also to end, it's important when you make the holes in the harness, make them with a hot iron, soldering iron, and make sure that it's only in the outside textile you make the holes, not in some important part of the harness. That's end of part 3.